In a major development in an issue that we've been following now for months, Governor Gavin Newsom is now getting involved firsthand in the latest fight over child sex trafficking here in our state. The governor's office is speaking up after lawmakers today blocked an effort to crack down on the buyer's side of the child sex trafficking industry. Thanks for being with us at 6. I'm Golston Dark.
And I'm Edie Lambert. This specifically refers to those who buy 16 and 17-year-olds for sex. Let's get straight to our KCRA3 Capitol correspondent Ashley Zavala, who, by the way, was the first to report the governor's involvement.
Edie, for the third time on this issue of child sex trafficking, Governor Gavin Newsom is pushing back against members of his own party. While trafficking a child is already a serious felony in California, Democrats right now are divided over a proposal to go after the consumers of the industry by making it an automatic felony to buy a 16 or 17-year-old for sex. The governor signaling his support for the latest push to protect the teens.
This is the best bill that I can bring today.
As the Assembly Public Safety Committee stalls an effort to stiffen penalties for the buyers of the child sex trafficking industry, Governor Gavin Newsom's office is speaking out. The governor once again concerned that 16 and 17-year-olds are being left out of a state law that makes it an automatic felony to buy a child for sex. In a statement first provided to KCRA3 Tuesday, Newsom's office said the law should treat all sex predators who solicit minors the same, as a felony, regardless of the intended victim's age. Full stop.
Schultz, aye.
The governor's involvement coming hours after this vote in the committee that agreed to move forward with Democratic Assemblymember Maggie Krell's bill targeting buyers, so long as the automatic felony for older teens was taken out. Krell has investigated these crimes for decades and was a prosecutor for the California Department of Justice. She's vowed to not give up.
I don't think we're doing enough to protect children from sex trafficking. I think that's pretty clear. It's clear from the survivors. It's clear from, driving down to the Blade right now. There's 16 and 17-year-olds being sold for sex, and that's not okay, and we need to do more about it.
Some Democrats on the committee worry how stiffer penalties for buyers overall would impact the LGBTQ community, people of color, and older teens in relationships with younger minors. Assemblyman Nick Schultz is the chairman of the committee. He wants to have an informational hearing on this later in the fall.
Why can't Democrats immediately get on board with something like this?
Yeah, so I would emphasize two things. First of all, the exploitation of any children, as we heard in the comments I made in the dais, it's already unlawful to do anything like that in the state of California. What we're talking about is a very specific, narrow issue of whether or not the stiff penalties that apply in, say, a human trafficking context should apply in a non-human trafficking context involving a 16 or 17-year-old. As you know, under Senate Bill 1414, which passed last year, that's a mandatory sex offender registration. And that doesn't mean that we shouldn't at least entertain that conversation, but how that might apply to an 18 and 17-year-old in a relationship might be different from what we might see, from what we think about people that are out here trying to get somebody off the blade and exploit them.
Meanwhile, survivors and victims like Ashley are watching how this all unfolds.
Being in a room as a 16 and 17-year-old, not knowing who's going to come through the door to purchase you, not knowing if they're going to hurt you, if they're going to rape you, what their fetishes are. Like, that stuff is real concerns for 16 and 17-year-olds. So I'm grateful for the progress, but looking forward to new amendments and new bills coming in the future.
So going back to the governor's comments, those are consistent with what he's been saying on this issue. Lawmakers actually tried to do this last year, make it an automatic felony to purchase anyone 18 and under. He spoke out after the Senate's Public Safety Committee removed 16 and 17-year-olds from the law. In 2023, the governor had to get involved in a similar situation on a bill to make child sex trafficking a serious felony. The Assembly Public Safety Committee at the time blocked that, but then did a do-over after the governor spoke out. We'll see what happens this time now that, again, we're on time number 3.
Yeah, and the governor again getting involved. So what's been the reaction to the governor speaking up again on this?
Yeah, and that just happened a couple of hours ago, so we're still waiting for a lot of comments from folks. But the chairman of the Assembly Public Safety Committee, Nick Schultz, who you heard from earlier, he released a statement that, in part, invited the governor to the informational hearing he hopes to have later this fall. Again, we're waiting to hear back from the leader of the state assembly overall, Speaker Robert Rivas, on all of this. So it will be an interesting conversation between the leaders right now of the legislature and governor on this.
Yeah. All right, Ashley, thank you.